Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today is episode 20 and my final episode in my Create This Book series. So I have been completing a lot of pages now in my last couple of weeks of Christmas holidays before I go back to school. So I'm really trying to get Create This Book finished and all done. So a final flip through will be coming very soon. So that's it for now. Let's get going. So the first page has the prompt to create a flaw. So make some art and then make an obvious flaw on it. So I got out a piece of printer paper. I like to do this so that the markers don't bleed onto the other pages. And then I folded that in half and started to sketch out various coffee beverages. I've been into drawing these lately, and I thought it would be fun to include that on one of the pages in here. So I sketched that out with a pencil and then went over it with a fine liner. After all of those guys were sketched out, I got out some coffee colored markers in different various brown shades, and I colored in all of the different lattes and all of that stuff. I had a lot of fun making the different swirls with the foam and milk in them, and the different coffee containers and stuff like that. So I kept the color scheme pretty simple over here, just in this brown colors, and also I added some different highlights with some gray and some white. And then I used a Sharpie to create a very obvious flaw across the page, and then I glued that into my Create This Book, and that is how the page turned out. I think it's really cool. The flaw is pretty obvious, but overall I am happy with how this page turned out. So moving on to the next page, we have the prompt, create a contour drawing. Draw something without picking up your pencil. So I got out this Muji black pen and I decided to use that for this page. It was actually brand new, so I was excited to test it out. And the verdict is that I absolutely love this pen. So I decided to do a cityscape because I thought that would be simple and kind of fun to draw. So I did not take my pen off the entire page, except for a couple of times when I needed to give my wrist a quick break, but I just put the pen right back where I had left off. So I made a bunch of different windows and trees in the front. I love how freehand and kind of loose and kind of messy that it turned out. I think it was a really fun way to complete this page. It didn't take very long, and then in the front I added some trees, some lights, and a path and a river. And that is the finished sketch. And then I decided to take some gray markers and just kind of color in the windows and other parts to add a little bit more depth and interest to the page. Moving on to the next page, this one has the prompt, create chaos. So I thought long and hard about this prompt and I didn't really know what to do, and then I ended up thinking about one of my favorite books, which is Fancy Nancy from my childhood. So she always had super crazy hair, and her hair was always very chaotic and messy, and pretty much everything in all of her books was, and I absolutely loved the illustrations in there. So I kind of took inspiration for that with this crazy hairstyle. So her hair is super messy. It's orange and curly, and there's different flowers and braids and feathers and stuff like that here. So I just kind of went crazy. I sketched this out with pencil first, and then I went over it with a black pen, and I had a lot of fun creating this. So as you can see, it's super busy. Her hair is incredibly tangly, and I just kind of added on until I got her hair part big enough to fill the page. Now looking back, once it's done, I wish that I had done a little bit more space that the hair took up, but overall I think it's pretty cool, and I had a lot of fun making this. So I also drew her cute little face, and then I added some clothes where she's wearing this ruffly shirt, and then I'm using pencil crayon to color this in. Normally I hate pencil crayon, but I'm using it here because I thought that it suited the kind of illustrations. So I thought marker would be a little bit too harsh, and I really liked already how the black line showed up on here. So pencil crayons was the go-to choice. So her hair is like orange and red, so I colored that in first, added some different shadows and highlights, and then I went in to all of the other fun little elements with other super colorful colors, just to kind of make it look as chaotic and messy as possible. And then for the background, I'm using this like lime green crayon to color it in. I was going to use chalk, but then I couldn't find any in my house, so I went with crayon, and I think it turned out all right. I was just really avoiding using pencil crayons to color in the background because that would have absolutely destroyed my wrist and hand. So crayon it is, and that is a completed page. I think it's so cute, and it was a lot of fun to draw this, so I'm very happy with how this one turned out. And here are some bonus pages that I did off camera, but I decided to show you guys anyways. This first one has the prompt, create a contradiction. So I created a dark sun, and pretty much everything else in this scene is like kind of contradicting the colors for that matter. So for example, like the grass, instead of being green, it's red. I tried to do complementary colors, but then I wanted a little bit more variety in the color palette, so not all of them are complementary colors. But I just sketched this out first and then used a bunch of different markers, mostly Crayola Super Tips, to color in the page. And then for the next bonus page, I pulled out some of my craft foam to use, and this prompt is create a time decoration in 10 minutes, no more or no less. So I did exactly what the prompt said, and I decided to use foam for this because lots of it was like leftovers from like probably like 10 plus years ago, so I thought this was the perfect opportunity to use it up. I just cut out these random shapes. A lot of them had sticky backs, like the sparkly stuff you can see, so that was really easy to place on the page. And then I also just added some extra doodles and lines with different markers. So that is how it turned out. And that is it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you in my Create This Book final flip through. And if you want to catch up on all other 19 previous episodes, the playlist will be linked in the description box. So that's it for now. Have a great day.